this week everything is about science in Stockholm because of the Nobel Prize, of course. Do you think in our daily life that science is cooperated enough?
Well, daily life, I mean, I think science suffers from being too useful in our daily life, which is fine because, of course, science is useful and that's important. But science is so much more than useful. Science ought to be part of our culture because science is wonderful. Science is telling us about the universe in which we live, the world in which we live, telling us about who we are, what we are, where we come from, what the whole of life is about. And so I regard science as a great aesthetic experience. And so when you ask about science in everyday life, of course, we're surrounded by technology, we're surrounded by the products of science, the fruits of science. But what I want to emphasize is that science is like great art or great music. It's something to enrich the spirit.
And how can we do that? How can we come closer to science?
Well, education, but in a very broad sense. I mean, education in this, including television, including the internet. Scientists should be coming out of the lab and extolling the virtues of the subject. I mean, at the end of this week, on Saturday, I'm doing a thing at the circus at 1:30, which I'm really looking forward to. I'm being interviewed about science by Björn Ulvaeus.
ABBA Björn.
ABBA, yes. And other people like Max Tegmark are on the program as well. This is a great exhibition, a great festival of science. I think it'll be a very big audience at the circus. This is a very good example of the kind of way to expose people to the beauty of science. But television can do it, radio can do it, newspapers can do it. Scientists ought to be devoting a significant part of their time and effort to talking to people about how wonderful science is.
But in some way, you know, in Sweden we talked about that in the studio this week, that physics and chemistry are the least popular classes among young people in school students. What can we do about that? How can we turn that around?
I'm aware of that, and I think part of the reason is that there's a sort of fetish for teaching these subjects as practical subjects. Yes. So you go into the lab and you light a Bunsen burner and you put a test tube and so on. I mean, that's fine as well, but that doesn't quite capture the beauty of science. And I think we need to add a bit of that, a bit of the Carl Sagan spirit, as well as just the doing things in the lab spirit.
So how can you do it more beautiful?
Oh, but just, I mean, tell teachers to do it in that way. Show videos, talk about the universe, not just what's in the test tube.
So they have to broaden it,
yes,
more or less, the teachers.
Yes.